What's up, YouTube? I'm starting this video off by smoking an Optimo. And I'm going to be talking about why the Cowboys should fire Jason Garrett because he's a terrible head coach and I hate him. He just doesn't get anything done. He's an abysmal head coach. He shows lack of, how can I put it, charisma, sense of urgency, and a will to win in each game that Dallas plays in. And they're struggling to beat teams that are actually playoff contenders and actually Super Bowl contenders. Dallas can be right there with those teams and with that pack, but they keep losing to those teams. Barely, but they keep losing and they keep looking sloppy every time they start football games. They always start football games off from behind, and then they start picking it up late in the second half when it's basically too late. And all you see is Jason Garrett on the sideline clapping his hands, smiling, making these cringy looking faces like, what the fuck? Like, it's starting to get to that point. Like, what the fuck? He's just an abysmal head coach. I don't like him. And which is why we need to promote either Rod Marinelli or Chris Richard. It's that simple. Chris Richard is already going to get head coaching look, so why not make him our head coach? Dallas is already one game away from having the same record we had last year. If not the same record from last year, then worse. No, I take it back. Yeah. We're already one game away from having, which means if we lose one more game, we're going to have the same record as last year, which means in my book, that's bye-bye time because you're not doing anything for us but keeping shit the same. We got the players. The roster's there. Jerry Jones and everybody, they keep looking for answers and shit. I mean, everything's right there. It just starts at the top, all the way at the top with the HNIC, even though he's not black. Anyways, it just starts with him. A football team reflects the character of a head coach, and Jason Garrett is a sorry head coach. Football team has great players, but we have a sorry head coach. Hey, even though we lost to Tom Brady and the GOAT at home in Gillette Stadium, I didn't necessarily expect that, but I mean, I wasn't mad at that because, I mean, the probability of that happening is very high because Brady just doesn't lose at home. Because Belichick, he's a great head coach, but you have to look at why he's a great head coach. He does the simplest shit. He does the simplest things, and within those things, he makes you a great player. And he makes the scheme great, I should say, even greater. Because essentially what's happening is the Cowboys are running Jason Garrett's playbook. I believe they call it an aerial offense. Within that offense, they have implemented a run-heavy scheme. Now, they've kind of abandoned that this season and kind of leaned on Dak to open things up for us and get Zeke going. But it's Garrett's offense. Make no mistake about that. Kellen Moore is just calling the plays in an innovative way, and how can I put it, in today's era of football, but ultimately it's the same predication upon a scheme, which is Jason Garrett's scheme. It's just Jason Garrett. He just can't make the Cowboys finish. We start off, like I said, sloppy. We try to rally and finish strong, but like I keep saying, by then it's way too late. Extremely way too late. By then, the Patriots already had the game won by the time we want to start doing that. And that's exactly what happened. They had the game won by the time we want to start rallying and start all of a sudden wanting to win the game. It's too late. Belichick in his mind already has the game won because he's winning in the fourth quarter. Now Zeke, he looked like his old self. He was running people over, moving the chains for us, doing that head bend that he does whenever he's getting ready to just run somebody over. I saw him return to his old self. Dak looked good as usual. Our defense showed what it can be when they want to play all together as one unit at one time. Our special teams was sloppy, which is all the way up to the head coach, because what in the world? Why is our special team so horrible? I understand it's the elements. Jerry Jones, after the game, he wants to say, well, the elements, considering the elements, we still played very well. Do you not understand that a lot of teams, Super Bowl teams, are predicated on whether or not they can play in the elements? So when Jerry Jones is out saying, well, considering the elements, I feel like we still played very well. Dak, he's never played in that type of weather before, but he still put up a show for us. No, like what do you mean? A head coach is supposed to make sure that their team is ready for the elements and for the weather. Just like what Shannon Sharp said on Undisputed. Super Bowl with the Bears and the Colts. That game was played in the elements. It was played in the rain. Peyton Manning had to practice for that Super Bowl dumping footballs in water. So this whole entire notion of we've never played in this type of weather before and things of that nature, there's a good chance that you'll be in Green Bay for an NFC Championship or divisional round. There's a good chance you could be in Seattle and it's pouring and it's raining and it's coming down. Philadelphia, they probably won't be hosting any playoff games this year, but in the future when they start drafting well again, they probably will be. So come on now. This whole entire thing of still play well in the elements. I want my team to look great no matter where they're playing. Kind of like San Francisco right now. And by the way, just for the record, San Francisco 49ers, they're my pick to go to the Super Bowl as of right now. I want my team to be in that game, but from the way things are looking, are they going to be in that game? I'm just going to throw that in the air of ambiguity world, but we'll see. But as of right now, the 49ers, to me, are the best team in football. They're the most complete football team. They just look great. That's what great teams look like. Are the Cowboys a great team? No. They're a good team on the cusp of becoming a great team. So when it's all said and done at the end of the day, if Dallas falls on their face, which they're on the cusp of doing right now, in terms of going 9-7 and possibly not making the playoffs, probably going to the playoffs just because you beat Philadelphia. But if we fall on our face, you have to get rid of Jason Garrett. You just have to. I say if we don't win out and go 11-5, that's a problem for him making a case to keep his job. That's a problem. 10-6, I can possibly see the argument, but the idea is to improve, kind of like how Seattle has done, despite all the disparities of all their players. The Legion of Boom, despite them being dissembled and being scattered out across the league, still on teams that are competing, despite that, they still themselves are a competing Super Bowl team because of their record and who they've beaten and because of the semblance of their defense and because of how well they are coached. Same thing with the New Orleans Saints. I can say that about them as well. Green Bay, I'll probably say a lot of that is to the credit of the greatness of Aaron Rodgers and what that front office has done with that defense. And I'm going to just leave Green Bay at that.